What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Forza Horizon 5 video, and the Winter Wonderland January 4th 2024 update has arrived. Along with the update comes a bunch of new cars, returning cars, and cars that were in previous games have all been waiting and all been begging for. So let's go through the update notes, the patch notes. Let's see what's going on. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and let's check it out. Yeah, there's not really too much in terms of bug fixes. It's more just events and cars that have come in. Alright, so considering there's not really too much to go through, I'll just go through the playlist here. So for 80 points for the whole series, you can win the Nissan GT-R Nismo, the R35 facelifted version, and you can also win the 992 GT3 Porsche 911 for 160 points. This is of the series, but of the first week for 20 points, you got the McLaren 12C MP4-12C, also the Aston Martin DBS. Thank you. I love the Aston Martin DBS. It is amazing. I love that car. It is probably one of my all-time favorite cars, and thankfully they finally put it in the game. Let's have a quick look. Obviously the Aston Martin DBR1 Forzathon challenge, which you can do from the Forzathon Shop 2. Bunch of events which you can win. For autumn, for 20 points, finally the Koenigsegg CCX, which is in the game, and for 40 points the Lykan Hypersport. Obviously a bunch of events too. We've got the Jaguar C-Type right here, the old one. Got a bunch of obviously event labs as well, trial events, and some other events that we can win. For winter, obviously got the Pagani Huayra. Finally, it is in the game. It only took them fucking 2 years to put this car in the game, or over 2 years to put the car in the game, which is kind of ridiculous if you ask me. Like, all of these cars should have been in the game at launch, all of them. But, you know, I get it, the drip feeding it to us, I get that, it is what it is, right? But at least they're in the game, and Forza Horizon 5 is still strong with updates coming in, guys, which is amazing to see. So 20 points, obviously, Pagani Huayra, and for 40 points, the Mercedes-Benz 280 SL. But I think, you know, first and foremost, we've got the McLaren 12C. Now let's go drive somewhere. So we can get out of here and we can actually hear this car fucking see what it sounds like. Now, I don't know what the fuck is that guy doing. He's just reversed into the fence. Jesus Christ. Now, this car doesn't sound like a McLaren 12C at all. Now, I totally understand what people were saying on the Forza forums, that this car doesn't sound very accurate at all, but got quite a lot of overrun. It still sounds pretty good, and I'm so glad that this car is finally in the game. I love this car. Obviously the 650S was kind of built on this car, but yeah, this was the first production McLaren ever to come. But we'll do a quick launch. It's pretty good. I mean, I like the car, especially with the air brake. I want to see the air brake fully extended, so let's speed up a little bit more and just slam on the brakes. Oh, is that all it goes up by? Oh, okay. So obviously from factory, this car is a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, I believe, or maybe 4.4 litre, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, but we can't, oh my god, we can actually open the glass covering for the engine. I'm not going to say a bonnet, because it's not really a bonnet, but it's more of a glass covering. That's pretty cool. But obviously the doors that go up, and the interior as per usual, nothing's really changed with the car. But yeah, it's pretty much a direct port from Forza Horizon for this car. So yeah, I personally really do like this McLaren. I think it looks pretty good as well. But it definitely does sound like a fucking fax machine. MP4-12C. That name is, yeah, very interesting. But let's, without further ado, go and upgrade this car. So let's see how much power we got right now. We are making 592 horsepower, 600 newton meters of torque, 3.8 litre twin turbo V8, not a 4 litre. So 3.8 pretty much may as well be a 4 litre twin turbo V8, but it is a 3.8 litre. Obviously, that's why it's so high revving. Definitely sounds a bit more. God, that sounds fucking aggressive for some reason. I don't know why. But I wonder if we put the exhaust on it, will it change? It does. Okay, so stock exhaust and sport exhaust don't make any difference, but the race exhaust does. So we're definitely going to put the race exhaust on. That sounds more like a P1. We'll do the intercooler. And we'll do the turbos as well. We'll get some race twin turbos. How much power we got now? We got 738 horsepower. I don't think we really need too much anymore. Obviously the ignition will do. Valves. Race valves. 766 horsepower. Yeah, okay, let's do the race valves as well. We're gonna do pistons because these pistons are obviously pretty shit usually in real life in McLaren engines. They're not too good. The rods always seem to go. We're gonna leave that for the engine. For the brakes, yes, we'll put the race brakes on. Race springs and adjustment there. Obviously race front and rear anti-roll bars, and obviously the race weight reduction as well. So next of all, obviously we got the transmission. I'm pretty sure it's a 6-speed in the car. No, it's a 7-speed. I think a 7-speed should be okay. We'll just stick with the stock 7-speed from factory. Put that in, obviously a race diff as well. Why would we not? Okay, I think we're making about 780-ish horsepower, I feel. Let's obviously put the slick race tire compound on, obviously, as if we wouldn't. Okay, so decided to go with some Vorsteiner wheels. We've got these twist wheels, which do look pretty cool, not gonna lie. Or these kind of double 5 spokes. Which they're not a twist, but they definitely do look pretty cool considering the car is standard with 5-spoke wheels or dual 5-spoke wheels. I think I'm definitely going to go with these twist wheels, that's for sure. I reckon they do personally look the best, but that is just me. So I'm really going to make these rims a little bit bigger. I've got some 20s in there instead of just the standard 19s. So we've got some 21s in the rear. Alright, put 21s in the rear, yep, and we'll keep 20s on the front. That's totally fine with me. Alright, so these are the McLaren colours. From factory, we've got the standard orange. It pretty much came in, and then obviously a papaya orange right there. We've obviously got a kind of British racing green, which does look pretty cool, not gonna lie. A midnight blue and a lighter kind of electric intense fucking blue. Also got like a maroon, it's kind of a bright blood red. We've also got a black, that's more of a midnight blue, not that one. That's definitely not midnight blue, but that looks really cool. That was going to look really nice underneath like an evening sun or something, but that looks really good. Obviously a really dark kind of wine red, obviously grey, silver, silver, white, and chrome. That is interesting. Definitely not going to go with that colour. Obviously a matte black, that's pretty cool. Matte grey, sorry, not black, but that's pretty cool. And obviously a carbon, fully exposed polished carbon, or is that matte? That's kind of like a satin carbon. That's pretty cool, but I didn't know these were factory colors. Just for nostalgic reasons, we're going to go with the standard orange, not the papaya orange, but standard orange. We're also going to put carbon mirrors on the car, so obviously polished carbon. Spoiler, we'll go polished carbon as well for sure. Great brake calipers. I wonder if we can make them yellow, look alright yellow. Yeah, look okay yellow. Okay guys, so here we have it. The McLaren MP4-12C is finally in Forza Horizon 5. We're going to have a bit of a drive. We're going to go and test this thing out, but let's just admire this car for a hot minute. Like, this car is finally in the game. Finally. It's long overdue, and I do like this car because it's the first production McLaren technically since the McLaren F1. Let's check out the interior. Obviously pretty standard interior. Obviously our odometer there, and obviously a just gauges and shit. We do have an analog RPM gauge, which is pretty cool as well. But for the interior, it's just basic. Nothing really stands out at me. It's all pretty standard in here. So we've got 780 horsepower. I have tuned this thing a little bit. Haven't made any gear ratio adjustments, more just basic tuning. The car hooks up pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. I've obviously dampened and softened the suspension quite a bit. But I wonder how this car is going to go around the corners. It seems to be okay so far. Like, I mean, I was expecting just the tail end of this car to be extremely happy and just kind of, yeah, just fling out all the time. But it's not. It's actually really holding its grip, which is pretty good. I'm quite surprised, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really expecting that at all. I thought it was just gonna be all over the place. I guess if it's quite grippy, we're definitely gonna have to do a launch. I'm sure we'd get a lot of wheel spin. Obviously, we've got 800 horsepower. But let's just stop right here. Let's do a quick launch. And let's see how this car handles. It's, God, looks good. I really like this car, just the look of it. But anyway. Yeah. Heaps of fucking wheel spin. Honestly didn't expect anything less coming from this car, to be honest. Let's try another launch real quick while we have no more driver tires in Horizon Life. I'm going to finesse the throttle this time. Yeah, nice. That's a good launch. That's not too bad, actually. Alright, so I'm just going to go a bit faster through these corners here. Let's test out the handling on this car. Considering it was gripping up quite well back there in the corners, I think this is going to be pretty good. Obviously that's cruising kind of gears. Oh, that's way too high. Geez, it really... I mean, we got 330 kilometers an hour. That's pretty... slow down. It really grips up. I'm really, really impressed with this car and the handling that it has. It's really good. We're going to actually take a... Whoa, what's that guy doing? Oh, let's go left here real quick. Alright, let's go left. Obviously, if you get on the throttle, it's really going to kick the back end out just like that, but it's not too much. It's not too crazy. It's still really, really planted on the road, which is really good. It makes this car really good for street races and circuit races and what not. But yeah, God, this car is really, really good in terms of handling. Very, very surprised about that, to be honest, not going to lie. That 6th gear needs the ratio adjusted, to be honest. And we have arrived in the city. Look, I think we've determined that the handling is pretty good, but there's only one thing left to do, and that is our infamous speed test. So let's head down the highway. Let's test out how fast this McLaren can make it. It's not fully tuned, not fully done up, but nonetheless, let's go check it out, guys. Alright, so we've made down the highway. I've made 2 slight adjustments to the gearing ratios. I haven't touched any of the first 5 gears apart from gear 6 and 7, as when I was changing earlier, as you can see, it was revving down quite far in the RPM range. Alright, we've adjusted the tuning a little bit. Let's do a launch and a speed test. Let's see how good this thing really is. That's not a bad launch either, that's pretty good. See, it hooks up quite well. That's pretty much full throttle. And it hooked up really, really well. Now, I'm not expecting huge things. We only got 780 horsepower, so who knows? Who knows how fast this car is going to be? 350. That's still pretty good for a McLaren. Not gonna lie, or for this car, it is quite old. 360. Wonder if we can get 370. Come on, McLaren, you can do this. We have a couple more upgrades. We definitely would reach some better speeds. That is for sure. But 370 looks like that might be the top speed of this car. Come on. Come on. If you do this with your head, it makes the car go faster. Come on. Come on. Can we do 380? Oh, so close. No. It's not going to do 380, guys. 375 or 370 is the top speed of this car. Anyway, if you liked today's video, make sure you smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you do like seeing content like this, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.